Alright, Major Time here.
Ranger John here.
Alright, we're going to be talking about our top 12 favorite games on the Xbox 360 since the original launch date. Why 12? Well, it's the year 2012, of course, and we can't make a list of 5 because it's way too
your
damn
last
hard.
year on Earth, so you should play the best 12 games out there.
In your last year of existence. Alright, number 12, Halo Wars. This is the only Halo game we put on the list. I enjoy the Halo games.
We're gonna get so much hate for that.
Alright, Halo Wars is one of the only RTS strategy games to come out on the console, and it's probably one of the only ones I like on the console, actually.
The controls were definitely made for the console versus like Command and Conquer,
where it's
where
like
you can tell it's
PC
definitely
only,
a PC game.
And it fits. It has the story of the Halo universe it built into it. You had your co-op, you had your online gaming, you had your like 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, and 3 versus 3, and it was just like it's something you could always pick up and it's fun. And a lot of people liked it, and a lot of people didn't like it. I for one think it's one of the way better games on the Xbox, and if you like those type of games, you'll definitely have fun with it.
And they actually did something original with a popular franchise.
Exactly, they took a first-person shooter game and made a strategy RTS game out of it. That hasn't been done many times, I would say.
And worked.
Exactly. And I know there's a huge petition, and a lot of people are getting together hoping for a sequel. So maybe we'll see one day with Kinect controls or whatever. Who knows?
Voice command.
Yeah. Alright, number 11, Alan Wake. Alright, Alan Wake had a pretty long history. It was
in
supposed
development since before the 360 launch.
Yeah, this game was shown like a long time ago, and then it disappeared off the planet, and then somehow came back. And I think they changed it and made it a smaller game. It looked like it was going to be more open world.
And a little darker, probably.
Yeah.
Than it was.
The game finally came out. Everyone was excited. But not a lot of people went and bought it. So you might not even know about this game by now if you're just picking up an Xbox. It's kind of... What would you say the game is? Like, it's not really...
It's a single player. I wouldn't say it's an action-adventure so much as... It's definitely a survival horror because you're always running out of ammo and flares.
So it is somewhat
dies.
of like a shooter, and what's weird is one of the first times ever you kind of used like a flashlight as a weapon, which was like really unique of how you use it to fight certain enemies. And I just liked how the story was laid out. Like your character's a writer, and they actually use like collectibles, like pages ripped off of a book that would tell you more about the story, and everything flows nicely.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're living in his novel.
Yeah, I thought it was really creative.
I think I would kind of describe Alan Wake as the best Silent Hill this generation.
Well, not so scary, I guess I'd say. I mean, you had some moments where you're a little freaked out, but nothing over the top.
Yeah, it wasn't gory or anything.
No. So if you're looking for some little kind of mystery, thriller, adventurous type game, go pick up Alan Wake and check it out. Alright, number 10, Crackdown. Alright, Crackdown was kind of a
I want to say this about Crackdown first.
Alright.
It came with the Halo 3 beta test.
Yes.
That's the only reason anyone bought it.
You know what? Guess what? I didn't even play the Halo beta. Not at all. Can you believe that? I bought the game, actually, because I wanted to play the game. Well, yeah, I was going to say that. Crackdown was pretty successful because of this beta, so you might not even played this damn game. It's basically an open world, like, sandbox game, kind of like...
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, yeah. And it looks and feels more like a comic book world, I would say. Like how, it looks.
Yeah.
And you had to build... I mean, your character was just... so awesome when they leveled up. I mean, climbing the buildings, jumping, and
you start as like this little weakling, like rookie cop, and then you collect orbs, which sounds awful, and it kind of is awful. But at least they level up your guy, and then at the end of the game, he's like this buff kind of Master Chief guy who can jump over buildings.
Yeah, and it was just like your stats would upgrade, but also like your vehicles and stuff that you used would upgrade with you too. So like and everything just kept growing bigger. The story's fun, and it was just fun going around doing whatever the hell, playing rocket tag, or every once in a while it was fun just to go run around and collect orbs, climbing giant buildings for no reason, jumping off, and I really just in love. I could just go around that game and like go kick cars off of bridges and have fun.
Definitely a good game to play with your friends.
Yeah.
Or a friend in this one, the first one.
Yeah, better, definitely better with co-op, but you also have to, go play by yourself. And we picked the first one because I think it's my favorite out of the two that are out right now.
Yeah, the second one kind of copped out and added zombies.
Yeah, what every game is doing now. Alright, on to our next one, number 9. Viva Pinata, Troll in Paradise. If you don't know what Viva Pinata is, it's a game made by Rare, which is actually one of their more unique games that have come out. Kind of has a flair of like how they just go out on a limb like they did when Nintendo made all these crazy IPs. Viva Pinata, you have like this garden, so it's kind of like Harvest Moon-esque, I would say. You can plant crops and but the main thing is focused around these pinatas and animals
You're
you
like
try
a
to get.
pinata farmer.
Yeah.
I
Which
think actually that's the story. Is you get these pinatas and then you send them to parties.
Yes. So you must make all little children happy.
But somehow when they come back from the party, they're not damaged. Everything.
Yeah, they're all in one piece. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but I know everyone that actually picked up this game and played it has a blast with it, and anyone from any age group can pick up this game and play it. And there's so many aspects once you start getting into it that keep you coming back. Trouble in Paradise is not the first one; it's a sequel, so it has way more stuff. Like
it's got penguins.
Yes,
And,
you could travel to different regions and
yeah, there's ice and like desert and stuff. But one of the main reasons we picked this sequel is because it takes advantage of the camera, the Xbox Live Vision camera, which probably no one has anymore.
No.
But if you do, you can go online and you can get these cards. You can print them off on your computer, or I think you can even do it on your computer screen, so you don't waste paper. And you get like rare pinatas, and they'll go into your game.
Yep. And not many developers or use the camera, and it seems Rare has always been one to jump on board with random ass stuff like using Rob back in the day. Yeah.
They're kind of Microsoft's.
And one of my favorite things in the game though is you have the ability to kill the pinatas, they blow up, and then you hear like some kids like "yay!" and then the other pinatas come and eat the candy out of it, like they're all damn bunch of carnivores.
That's all, and the scary ones that come and eat them.
Yeah.
They kill them. That's kind of scary for a kid's game.
I mean,
like
go
the
pick
scary
it up.
fox comes and eats your pinata, and
Yeah.
the one dude with the mask just comes and beats them till they break.
And if you're a fan of Rare, definitely go pick this up. I'm gonna say I hope they come out with another one because this game would be great for Kinect.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus, it's probably only like $10.
Yep. Alright, number 8, Dead Rising, the original. When this game first came out, there was really nothing like it. This game, if you don't know what it is, it puts you in the mall, there's zombies, you can do whatever the hell you want, and go in any of the stores, use whatever you find, and kill a bunch of zombies. That's not the main story, but that's mainly what people like to do in this game.
The story's kind of... It's like a B horror movie.
Yeah.
But it's basically a sandbox zombie game, which...
In a shopping mall.
Besides Dead Rising, you have like Dead Island, and that's it. But Dead Rising it's kind of comedic. It's not scary. You can have fun. You can wear a dress if you want. You just do whatever you want in the mall. And kind of the only bad thing is, well, the save system's not that great. But
save often if you get this game.
Yeah. You have a time limit, so you are kind of rushed.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a pretty short game, so
the good thing about the game is it has all the different endings. So if you want to go through the story, you do learn stuff, and it keeps you wanting. You could end the game at certain days, or you could just go around the whole time and just massively kill zombies. And if you're looking for some challenging achievements, this game definitely has some, like saving all the survivors, or the one where you have to survive.
You to keep your Xbox on for like.
It's like 2 days or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you have to physically have to survive for
the original Xboxes would overheat.
So I applaud any of those people that have that achievement, and maybe one day I'll try for it.
Congratulations.
Alright, number 7, Gears of War 3. We picked number 3. Well, first I'd say Gears is probably my favorite franchise on the Xbox. It's exclusive, if you didn't know. It's just the grittiness and the violence. I just love it. I don't know.
It's like it doesn't hold anything back.
No, it doesn't. Taking a lantern and chainsawing through somebody just never gets old for me for some reason.
And I felt with the third one that they really brought the story up. I mean, I can't even really tell you what happened in Gears of War 2.
No.
But there were some moments in the story in Gears of War 3 that just really stand out among all video games, not just Xbox games.
Yeah, I felt like the story was just action paced through the whole thing, kept me excited. I mean, they super improved the Horde mode, which I find them as one of the founders of Horde mode, because it seems after they did it, everyone has it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they really, I mean, you basically build your base. It's kind of like a mini RTS. Right?
Yeah, while killing tons of enemies endlessly. And then you got all the multiplayer modes, and it's like just a super complete game that you'd be happy with a shooter. You know what I mean?
There's not like too much story to keep people who just want to play a shooter away.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just enough story to keep people who are there for the story to stick around. Plus, there's multiplayer.
Yep. So go enjoy if you're looking for a good shooter, and it has co-op. So go play with your friends. Do what you got to do. All right, number 6, Red Dead Redemption. All right, the Red Dead game has to be one of the best games to come out in a long time. It is a sequel to a game that was, I think it was Red Dead Revolver, that was out on like the PS2 around then. They made it a huge like open world game in Western times, obviously, if you don't know. And there's not many games in Western times, which that's why I think a lot of people are interested when they do come about. And just the story was just awesome. You know, your character just going around, you know, riding horseback and shooting, and you could go hunting and fighting bears, and just a lot of the action-y missions, chasing scenes on wagons, and I don't know, it's just, I thought it was amazing. And all the online multiplayer, you know, you could go around robbing places with your friends, and just good times all around, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely, if you're like a fan of Clint Eastwood movies or John Wayne, anything like that, you're gonna enjoy this game, as opposed to people who are into like Space Marine games, which are all over the market right now. It takes a little bit to get into it, just because it's so different and it's a little bit slower paced than some other things, but it's still, I mean, definitely better than Grand Theft Auto 4.
Oh, I have to agree completely with that. I hope they make another Red Dead game coming out, and this makes Grand Theft Auto look like a bitch any day of the week. Alright, going on to number 5, the Orange Box. The greatest deal in video game history.
Okay, if you don't know, the Orange Box is Valve's collection of probably, well,
some of the greatest games.
2, which was already out, and then Half-Life.
Don't say Halo. Don't say Halo.
It's not Halo. It's Half-Life.
You got Half-Life 1, 2,
episode
and
1
episode
and 2.
2. Yep.
Right, and then Portal, which was released with the Orange Box. That was, I think, even before it was on the arcade. So you're getting 3-4 complete games.
And they're all amazing.
The best value, and it was already like $40 when it came out. It wasn't even full price. And now you can probably get it for like 11.
Yeah,
so you're
exactly.
getting 4 Valve games, excellent games, for $10.
Can't beat that. And you know, the Half-Life series, once you get into it, it's amazing. You know, you can diversely get into those games and just go away at them, and you know, it's got some horror elements, some action, adventure, mystery, great story.
But be aware that you're not getting episode 3 anytime soon.
So maybe by the time you go get that, beat it up, maybe episode 3 will be out in a couple more years. You know, and then you got Portal, which is more, what would you say, Portal, like more of
a puzzle
type game? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got a little bit of everything for you. So go definitely pick that up if you haven't. If you haven't played the Half-Life games, you got problems. Alright, number 4, The Darkness. This is one of our older games on the list. Way older.
Yeah, right. Actually, when I went to GameStop last night, the guy, I pre-ordered The Darkness 2, and he said he had never even played the first Darkness.
Yeah, a lot of people might not even know what the hell the game is.
But it was just, it kind of flew under the radar, and it was much better than I think it was made out to be.
Yeah.
I think probably because the comic book it's based on is not really, I mean, it's huge among comic fans, but people who aren't into comics have no idea what the Darkness is.
I like the main character in the story. At the same time, he's like a big nerd, it feels like, for some reason. Or just, he's like a big gothic guy or something. Yeah.
Like, wears a trench coat.
So, what would you consider the Darkness type game? Like,
it's a shooter for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think you like level up your guy or anything.
I remember you got the different powers. You know what I mean? And that's what I love to use.
The shooter.
Yeah, and
Just some cool.
it was like your
tentacles.
guy got like possessed by like demonic powers and then like your girlfriend got killed and you're out for like
It's like in the
vengeance.
family, and then I don't think really him killing your girlfriend has anything to do with your powers. He just kind of messed up and killed the wrong girlfriend.
But it's
'cause
definitely a
that's-
fun game.
yeah,
One of my
that's a fun-
really favorite part of the game were the minions. They remind me of like from the Gremlin movies. Like it's like this little evil thing, but
They're,
like cute at the same
smart-ass
time.
gremlins
Yeah.
who kill people.
The multiplayer was pretty fun too. When you played this gremlins just jumping around and stuff. So I can't wait for the next one to come out. Hopefully it's good, and definitely go check out this game if you haven't played it.
Another bargain bin, right there.
Yep. All right, number 3, the original BioShock game. Now I have to say this is one of the best single-player stories to ever come out of all the games I played, and I've played almost every game there is. BioShock takes you in this underwater city, which is really cool because I don't think I've done anything like that before. And I don't want to say too much about the story if you haven't played it, but you're this guy and you go down there and basically the city is crazy nuts and all these people are basically using like these kind of drug type things and and you get like these different powers you can use throughout the game and it's got a little horror aspect to it. You go in dark
it's a pretty
rooms.
dark game.
Yeah. So you never know when someone's going to pop out at you, and just the different unique weapons you get throughout the game. It was just
the powers
awesome.
are definitely the coolest things. I think they're called plasmids. and
Plasmas,
they're,
yeah. It was like basically like drugs they were using to inject themselves with and giving them
But,
these powers.
I think a lot of people have probably played Skyrim, so the plasmids just remind me. Well, the magic in Skyrim reminds me of the powers in BioShock.
Yeah.
Like the way you use them.
Mhm.
Like they're in your hand.
Yeah.
And there's
You could
one
launch
that
out like
looks like a
fire,
spear or
ice.
something,
Yeah.
And it just rolls around your hand. It looks so gross.
Yeah. And the first BioShock is a single player only game. So if you're big into single player, this game easily gives you like a 40-hour gameplay. If you're gonna go through and search for everything, all the collectibles and powers, and it's just you'll have a really good time getting into the series. And once you play the first one, you're gonna play the next one and the next one for sure.
Yeah, it's a good franchise coming out.
Yep. All right. Number 2,
Yes.
Shadowrun.
Shadowrun.
Have you? We love Shadowrun, so we put it close to the top of the list. Shadowrun was probably the first. I would say the first multiplayer only game to come out on the Xbox. Wouldn't you say?
It was the first game that you could play on the Xbox versus PC players.
Yeah, so cross-platform between those two, and it was like a multiplayer only game, so it had no single player at all. It only had a couple training missions for your single player, and the game. Being an online-only game, you obviously had to make it pretty fun to keep people to stick around. And I know there's still groups of people that get together and play this game. You got to choose different characters. You had like a troll and an elf, and they all had different like abilities. And I don't know, what would you say, like Team Fortress 2-esque kind of? You got
without
some
as many
powers, I
classes.
guess. Yeah.
There's only like 4 main classes. You had like the troll, the dwarf, and then you said the elf and the human. I think.
And the human, yeah.
And they each kind of had their own special abilities.
And you could set like
Yeah.
traps, and you had different weapons. You
You could
katana.
teleport and
Katanas, miniguns, and what I had to say about this game is it's amazing because I was thinking about this the other day. That game had like no groundbreaking glitches where people could cheat to win. The game always felt balanced, like you had to work good as a team to always win a match, and that has still yet to happen to any multiplayer games I've
even
played.
in Battlefield 3, you have problems with people playing as a team. But
Yeah.
that's one game I never had a problem with my team.
And I had to
not
say that's
trying
like
to
one
win.
of the first games I put like hours and hours into the multiplayer, and that's probably where I really like fell in love with the Xbox community and like meeting a lot of people and playing together, and it was just good times always. And it's good to find some people, and if you can find some people to play this game with and just go back and play it. And
But
even
I
I think
you can't find people to play with, it's going to be like $5, and you can play with versus the bots, and you'll at least get to experience the game.
yeah, and I think the developer is gone now that made this game. And there's a huge petition because I think Microsoft owns the rights now. So hopefully one day there'll be a sequel for this game. We kind of thought Brink would be the next kind of Shadow Run, but it didn't live up to our standards.
Yeah, I still kind of sore about that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we'll move on to our number one, Saints Row 3. Now, since the first Saints Row game came out, I jumped on it right away. It was a great series. But then the third one came out now. And you gotta say, this is one of the most ridiculously awesome games I've ever played.
That's really how we're picking most of the games on the list.
Yeah.
It's just if they're fun. And this game is definitely fun and crazy and insane, and you could kill hundreds of hours probably.
Oh, easily. And just the weapons you use. If you didn't know, you use like a giant purple dildo bat as one of the weapons, which sounds ridiculous, but it's hilarious when you see this thing just bouncing around, smacking people with it. And you know, this story, they like keep you laughing throughout the entire story with all the ridiculous cutscenes, and it's like, if you didn't know, it's a
Let's
sandbox.
just tell you this in the opening, I don't know, scene or whatever. You steal a bank vault, the entire vault, out of the bank.
It's kind of like Fast Five, but you take it with a helicopter instead.
And you spend the rest of the level on top of the bank vault, fighting cops and helicopters.
If you
In a
didn't know,
mascot suit.
like I said, if you didn't know what this game was, it's like a sandbox open world game. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but not trying to be serious. It's just meant for you to have a damn good time whenever you want.
Please buy it so THQ doesn't go out of business.
Yes, please. They're gonna be broke soon.
Buy it new.
They buy the online pass, please. Alright, that will wrap it up. That's our top 12 Xbox 360 games since launch. We will also be working on a 360 arcade list that will be coming out soon, a PlayStation list, and a Nintendo Wii list. So hope you enjoy. This has been Major Tom.